Oh my god, that loud noise. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode. Well, I said another episode. I'm so used to doing the audio thing so much that I sit here and say this, but this is a live YouTube Big Pop Theory podcast. We're talking about Crown Jewel. They go on tomorrow. And we wanted to join the fun. There's a lot of wrestling podcasts and they're doing predictions. We usually have a whole panel here, but our other two couldn't make the show. So I'm one of your hosts. I'm one of the usuals, the great Grand Slam Poobah, and I'm joined with Gene Barista, I almost said Batista Dubois. Mr. Dubois, how are you?
Mr. Dubois. I love that name. Man, I'm doing great, man. How's your week been so far?
I gotta say it's pretty so okay, cool. I can actually tell this story. Um, I was at work, I do maintenance work, and as I'm doing my maintenance work, I get a call and someone's like, "Hey, can you check the 12th floor? Because it smells like it's burning." I go check because someone just didn't know how to cook. As I opened up the oven, you want to know what was in the oven?
All right.
No, it was a pair of socks because the guy wanted to dry his socks. He put his socks in there to dry his socks. Yep, real story.
What?
Yes, there were a pair of socks in there, and he was upset that I was upset at him. He was very like flabbergasted, like how can you get upset at me? I don't understand. Oh, boo 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 boo. Uh,
There are so many questions that we probably can't get into because it'll end up taking over the whole prediction show. So I'll save that for after. Sucks.
it's pretty disgusting. And I feel bad for anybody else, whoever decides to use that stove. Very nasty
Ooh,
things. But we have
that's nasty.
seven. That's nasty. We have seven matches on the card. Any particular match that you're into, Mrs. DeGuar?
Ah, I'm kind of interested in Cody versus Gunther, actually.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
well, I'm interested. What makes you so interested in the match?
You got the top babyface who seems to be on a roll and one of, if not the greatest champions that we have of our era in Gunther. So it's great to see how this is gonna play out. Although I have my predictions and I'm very upset at this prediction that's coming and you're gonna be upset too, but we'll wait for the predictions.
All right, all right, all right. So seven matches. They're going to be in Saudi Arabia. Let me make sure I got that correct. And why don't we start off with this match here? Let's start off with the women's tag team championship match. We have Lash legend Jakara Jackson going against Damage Controls, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Chelsea. Let me see if I can do. I don't know if I can do any justice here, but I'm gonna try it. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven with going against the champs Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill.
And for those who don't know, this is literally a last minute thing. This is to replace the Raquel Rodriguez Rhea Ripley match because Rhea Ripley literally damaged her eye socket on Monday Night Raw due to a headbutt, which is what led them to write the story angle for NXT Tuesday. So this match is literally added in to replace that match due to the fact that Rhea Ripley will be hurt. Sending best wishes to Rhea Ripley and a speedy recovery. But with that said, as much as I would love to see the NXT stars actually win that tag title match because for whatever reason, I've been very interested in them since they've been fighting for the tag titles. I think we all know Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair have been on an unstoppable streak since winning back those tag titles. I don't see them dropping that belt anytime soon.
I wanted to talk about that. What you were talking about with the NXT thing. I was actually surprised by that. So watching NXT and when they had where I didn't realize she was hurt until I think the next day. And they were saying she was like she had a legit injury. But when they did all that, because I was sitting there saying, damn, Liv Morgan really will follow you everywhere. Like she really did that. Um, so I was confused by that. But this talking about this match, who do I got here? I agree with you. I agree that one will keep the championships are going to remain on Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And shout out to lovely host. She couldn't make it, but I'm glad that she said. I think they soft launched them on the main roster already. I don't know if they're NXT anymore. And that's a good point there. Me and Shay, we talk about this.
Shout out to the Cap.
We talked about this, and we're not totally sure if it's because they've been on Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I mean, it just seems like a soft launch. It would be cool. I've seen people sit here and think that they would win the straps, but I don't see that. But I think it's also great that they are on the card. It's fantastic. So yeah, shout out to these gals. But we both said that the champions would remain. But is there a dark pick? What? And it's not called a dark pick, is it? It's called a dark horse pick. I never got that because what if the horse might say that's offensive?
We live in a time where everything's offensive. At this point, just know we mean no harm by it. But the dark horse.
There's a horse in the background sitting there saying, "Where is his location so I can kick him?"
The dark horse wants my location. If there were a dark horse pick,
sure.
I would say probably Damage Control.
Ooh, okay.
That's the sad part. As much as I want to see these NXT girls win the tag titles, and it would be great to see them win it, if there was a dark horse pick, I would say it'd probably be Damage Control.
Why'd you say it like that? If I had to say it'd be
Damage Control. Because in case I've offended anybody with the dark horse, I don't want that horse coming for me. I don't need it to know my location.
No, it's too late, Mr. Dubois. That horse has definitely want your location. It's over for you. And that spelled disaster for you. And the numbers don't lie. A dark horse pick for myself here. I'm going to go with the NXT girls. I'm going to sit here and go like I do think the champions remain, but I think the NXT girls will. I think that they would. I think somehow they get a sneak win. Okay,
it would create a hell of a story, but I'd say the seasoned vets would be Damage Control.
I'm laughing. Miss Sawyer said, "I'm offended. I'm letting Twitter know right now." Oh, you're definitely screwed. When that dark horse against Mr. Dubois, let's have it happen. Royal Rumble in February. Don't worry, young man. I'm gonna get you in shape. We're gonna have our training. I'm gonna send you to the hyperbolic chamber, and you're gonna become even more ripped than ever. So don't worry, you're ready for that horse. Huh?
And old.
Hey, can you stop bringing yourself and me along the way, please?
Don't you age a year in that chamber?
I don't know. You watch Dragon Ball.
Yeah, you age about a year in that chamber. Like I'll be old.
And sexy. Come on. Old and sexy. Come on.
I'll finally get on the cover of GQ magazine. So you know what? I'm for it. I'm for it.
I mean, Brad Pitt, who? Mr. Dubois on GQ. Let's have it. Miss Sawyer says, I actually wouldn't mind Damage Control winning. Io's too good to not have a title around her waist. She is good. And you know what's crazy?
I agree.
It's not even as crazy, but she is talking about Io. She's been getting a reaction. Her she has this sequence where she start going crazy and she has a bunch of moves. She start flipping and she start moving around and stuff like that. And I get hyped too. I'd be like, let's go. So yeah,
it's like Gunther when he's pissed off.
Gunther when he's pissed off. Masoy also says, I think everyone feel like the end game is Bianca or Jade turning on the other, and that's coming to probably Mania or the next PLE or the next Big Four PLE. My apologies. So maybe they will keep until they get close to it, and I agree to that. I think they are definitely.
I can agree to that. I would say Survivor Series would probably they lose the title and they plant the seeds for a turn. But now the question would be who actually turns. Would it be Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair? Because in my eyes, Bianca shows more heel. They've actually foreshadowed Bianca's heel turn a while back during the whole Bailey sequence. So I would say probably Bailey. But a question for the folks at home and those who are watching and anybody tuning in to commentate, who do you think the heel turn would come from?
If I could throw in my 2 cents here, I was actually looking for quarters to throw in there. But all seriousness, so that thing that you mentioned with Bianca, I would go as that's not even a heel turn. She's only nasty to Bailey because Bailey's given her like hell for those last year or two. So she has all the right in the world to not want to be Bailey's friend. Now,
absolutely. But so did Drew McIntyre when he turned on Jey Uso and everybody else. Remember, let's be honest here. Even though Drew's a heel,
Right.
he actually made some great points on why he decided to turn. Continuity, and I give Trips his props with that. Putting continuity into these stories.
Hold up. Do you know this man personally to call him Trips? Like, who just says that? Like, yeah, me and Trips, we went to the bar. We had a good time. Me and Trips, we go back to high school days. What are you even talking about, Mr. Dubois? Stop it. Trips. And don't you start calling that man Paul either, because you don't know him enough to do that. Don't call him Trips. Don't call him Paul. Stop it. But I think you had some valid points there. I think it really depends on the story. Now, honestly, you 100%, great point, but I think it also depends on the story. So let's be real. Do you think people were going to boo Jey Uso? Is so over. Do you think they were going to boo him, or were they going to boo the stuff with Punk? I think there was some valid points. I think with Punk too. Or maybe Seth. I forget what it was. I mean, all this, but people were not going to boo these people over Drew. I think that Jade. I would be down for Bianca turning heel just because she hasn't been heel in a long time. But I think Jade would do it. I think they're going to go with Jade.
I don't think Jade's ready for that yet.
It's a good test. I mean, listen, when she was in AEW, she was a heel, and I think she did a great job on the character stuff. So I think she could totally do it. And something with Bianca. I mean, what was it? The Mae Young Classic, right? I don't even, because I'm going to say that early NXT, she was knocking it out the park when she was a heel. I mean,
absolutely, but then it's gonna come down to who would the fans be willing to boo more? Would they be willing to boo Bianca more, or would they be willing to boo Jade more?
That's a good point. I guess you got to fill that out, but I do want to throw out. You said Survivor Series. I think Royal Rumble would be a great place for you to start building that up, because you're in the Royal Rumble, everyone for themselves. One of them throw the other one out, and everyone's like, you got me. But deep down inside, they got that knife ready to put it in the back. So I think Royal Rumble.
Seeds at Survivor Series. They lose the titles. They're still cool, but you start to see senses of turmoil. You see senses of turmoil. Royal Rumble comes around. One eliminates the other. Now you can turn that into an actual feud. Jealousy, envy, whatever the case may be.
Io is undeniable. I've always been a big fan, but after her Mania match, I'm like a stan up, like I'm obsessed. She had a really great match with one barely this year. The thing she did go the way. That's what I love about the Jay Bianca thing. It's exciting not knowing. I agree to that, because you don't need to know everything. Bianca is handling the Bailey thing how Cody was supposed to handle Roman. LOL. That's why Kevin don't respect that. Valid as hell.
Absolutely valid.
Yeah, that's why Kevin. I love the word. That's why Kevin don't respect him. Yeah, that's right. She also says Bianca is also the John Cena. Who knows if they that too? That's a great point. I mean, that is valid as hell. I don't know if they want to go back to doing that.
I think it depends, because remember Becky Lynch tried the whole heel thing, and it didn't work. They cheered her. Rhea Ripley, she has the best chance of going heel out of anybody. Bobby Lashley, when he was with the Street Profit, they tried to turn him heel and didn't work. People cheered that. It's like, nah, we needed to see the Street Profits actually beef up and start doing some craziness. So I think it just depends. Like I think fans are now getting tired of the whole Apollo Crews thing where you're just coming out and smiling. No, whoop some ass, beat somebody's ass for doing you wrong. Like it's time. Enough.
I don't know. That sounded so personal. Beat someone's ass before not doing it right. What are you talking about?
Because I was a fan of Apollo Crews, and I remember when people was mad at him smiling, I looked and I said, "Oh, you guys have nothing better to talk about. Like, let the man live. He's making great money. He's doing what he loves." And all of a sudden, I don't know what it was. I think I saw him got beat down with a chair, and he comes out the next week smiling. I'm just like, "Yo, why are you smiling? You know what? They got a point. Stop smiling. Whoop some ass. Enough. You can smile, but so long."
I think this is a great point here with Ms. Sawyer saying Becky is not their John Cena. Bianca is, though. That's a valid point. Bianca, no, she's valid on that, though. Like,
I don't know. Becky Lynch tried to be the man. She's insulting faces like baby faces like Edge. she's insulting everybody on the roster, but people are cheering it. Like it doesn't matter if she tried to turn heel. They were just happy to see a badass Becky.
You got to remember too, we're not even just talking about in ring. I don't know if Becky was doing the rounds like how Bianca is doing. Like John Cena was doing those Make a Wish, and I don't know numbers and stuff like that. But you're talking about like more of outside than just in ring. So I get that valid point. So I think that's a really, really good point. Bianca is on another level, even though they have nerfed her a bit to give other women a shine. She is the best asset. And she says Becky's more their Stone Cold, and I can see that more their Stone Cold than Cena. She shares more attributes with Stone. Yeah, because she's kind of she is a rebel. She's pretty much, I don't say
I can agree to that.
So yeah, great points there. Let's get into the next match. We have a triple threat. We have LA Knight. No. Oh my God. No. Work with me. I said LA Knight.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm writing you a citation or whatever that thing is called. LA Knight going against Andrade Idolo and Carmelo Hayes. It is for the United States Championship. I'm going to go first here. I see LA Knight retaining. I would love Carmelo Hayes to win. I think Carmelo Hayes will get his opportunity at another date, and it'll be a one-on-one situation. I think they're going to run it back because they didn't. It was what, Game 7? They kept saying Game 7, and we didn't get a winner for that because LA Knight interfered in that. So LA Knight retains. I do think we get that rematch between Andrade and Melo. Melo wins, and I don't want to say right away, but I do see him being a future United States champion. Now, let me ask you this, though, before I give you your prediction. Now, Carmelo Hayes said that he feels like that's the first belt he should win. It makes sense to him. But he also talked about bringing the spinner belt back. Was you a fan of the spinner belt, both WWE and the United States?
I was a fan of the United States one.
Okay.
I was a very big fan of the John Cena United States one. That was very innovative. I wish I could have gotten a replica of that. The WWE spinner, I think I enjoyed more the rated R spinner belt than I did John Cena's.
Wait, why? It was just Edge literally just put an R on it. What was the difference?
I don't know. It just looked cooler.
It was the R, wasn't it? The R. You said, you know what? You're great. I love you so much. I love that you are a simple man. He put a sticker on it. He said, yes, art. I hate you.
It wasn't the R. I might have been the R. I just looked and said, that looks better.
Mrs. Dubois,
I appreciate the rated R belt.
My blood pressure, bro. Literally an R on it. It's like there's nothing different. You're a simple man. I know what I'm getting you for Christmas. I'm getting you a broom, and I'm gonna put a sticker on it. I can see now. I hate this, Ron. I'm gonna put a sticker on it. Better. That's you.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. A broom with a sticker on it, I'd probably use it every day to sweep my house. Probably. Like, you know what? This is one of the greatest brooms of all time.
He talked about bringing the belt. Now, my only thing with the spinner belt was I just didn't think it looked right with anybody else. So, so when this belt came out? 2005, right? So when I saw Punk with it, even Rock, when he had it for a period, I just said, this don't look right. I thought the belt was cool only for Cena. It just didn't look right with everybody. Didn't Triple H have it at one point?
I think Triple H did have it, but you know what the thing is? When it comes to certain custom-made belts that's made for a certain star, it's like because Cena started that trend, you can't see it because it fits Cena's style. The whole ergonomic thing.
I see what you did there. You can't. I'm sorry. I want to highlight. She's laughing at you for saying not the R, the spinner belt, and he also said, "This is why you love me so much. It's because of my name. It begins with an R."
That is a very, very big possibility. It's probably why. You know what? I never thought of it that way. Shout out to Shane.
I honestly thought it was my good skincare and my humor.
And probably the fact that there's an R in front of you. You know what? The R in front of your name just makes it that much better. It puts you from, just mid-tier to God tier instantly.
Dude, you don't even have to. I already proposed to you. You already got my heart, man. But what do you got? What do you got for this match, bud? What do you got for this match?
I know LA Knight's winning, even though I kind of want to see Andrade win it, though.
Really?
I feel like Andrade has put on nonstop impressive performances, and he's reached that point where he deserves that title.
Mr. Dubois, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So Andrade's the speed champion. How would you feel if they just threw that around you? Would you be a fan of the speed belt?
I have 3 minutes to complete a match. I'm not even gonna lie to you. 3 minutes. Like I don't know what I can really get done in 3 minutes. Who's my opponent? Like what opponents do I face for this speed champion?
They usually it's random. I mean, so so I know one time they had Dijak on there. I'm trying to think who else recently. I don't watch his on X or Twitter, whichever one you want to call it. But it's random. So yeah, a matter of fact,
Unless they're throwing people like Brock Lesnar or freaking Roman Reigns or even Bobby Lashley, I'm pretty sure I got a chance at in hell to destroy whoever the hell in 3 minutes. I have a chance in hell. But they throw in people like Matt Riddle or Ronda Rousey. Nah, not so much. I ain't got a chance in hell. I'm dropping the belt immediately.
But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin your thoughts here. But you said Andrade, and I thought that was interesting. So you're a fan of Andrade stuff.
His work has been very amazing. He does need a lot of work on his promo, but then again, it's a language barrier. But there have been times where there was one promo with Byron Saxton. I think Carmelo Hayes interrupted, and Byron Saxton said, "What's next for you?" And he just said him, and I'm just like, that was perfect. That was actually perfect. You didn't need to say anything else. The moment he said him, I said, beautiful. If he can get his mic skills up to par with his talent, Andrade would be something freaking amazing.
And you say that, right? And I feel like we've had this conversation like privately and stuff like that, right? And one of the things I'll say, Andrade, although promos is his weak spot, here's the beauty about what I think about professional wrestling. Some people are really good in ring, some people are really good at promo. You got people who could do both. But then there's guys who are weak in promo and they make up for it for their in-ring work. And I think Andrade has been doing that so much. I think the feud between him and Melo, excuse me, has just been both men at that, because Melo is very talented.
It's elevated both men to a whole different light. And don't get me wrong, I love Carmelo Hayes. I used to watch him in NXT with his rivalries with Trick Williams and others and so on and so forth. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like Andrade has reached that level to a point where, put the title on his waist before Carmelo. Carmelo still has plenty of time left, but definitely put the title on Andrade.
Interesting. Okay, all right.
I feel like he should probably be the new face of Luchador, not that Mysterio guy.
Rey Mysterio.
Ugh.
That was really good. Good job. Proud of you, bud. That was good. I was going to say it next, but I was like, damn, how do I compete with that? Let's talk about this match. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this one, Mr. Dubois. Mr. Dubois, we're going to have Nia Jax going against, I'm sorry, I had a brain fart here. Nia Jax going against Liv Morgan. Both of them are champion of their respective brand, and it is for the Crown Jewel Female Championship. Mr. Dubois, how do you feel about the championship?
This is simple. Liv don't win. You're not beating Nia Jax. Just stop it. Stop. Get some help. No. Absolutely no. Just no.
Hold up. I'm gonna say what the kids are saying in the street. That's cap. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Mr. Dubois, Liv Morgan is going to beat Nia Jax. Liv Morgan is going to win.
You haven't heard a joke that good since Dave Chappelle. That's a good one. First and foremost, Samoans don't.
Hold on, Mr. Dubois. First off, please remove your legs. This is not that kind of show. But
okay.
Not bad though. I'm not gonna. You've been doing some squats. I see the muscle in the leg. Oh, we go. You got a little bit of crab juice behind. But go ahead. You just gonna. I'm sorry.
Samoans don't lose. First and foremost, Nia Jax has been one of the most dominant champions we've seen in quite a while. Probably since Rhea Ripley. And if it was Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax, I would have a whole different prediction. But Liv Morgan, no. I don't even see Raquel Rodriguez being a factor.
I think you're saying strong. I gotta say, Nia Jackson. I was interested. I thought we were gonna have a big panel because I would have loved to hear everyone's opinion on it. Or what you think about Nia Jax's run? And I just don't think it's been hitting.
Nia Jax's run, I don't think has been hitting because they've been focusing on this her and Tiffany Stratton. And I've said this before, depending on who your dance partner is in certain feuds, rivalries, or even storylines in general, it could either be a big hit or a big miss. Damian Priest's title reign to me was mid up until he went up against Gunther. Now I'm looking at Damian Priest in a whole different light because Gunther was that perfect match for him. Even though he lost the title to Gunther, it's like, Gunther elevated him to a whole different playing field. I think the same thing can be said for Nia Jax.
So when you said you look at Damian Priest in another light, is the light purple?
Ziggy, light color purple.
Okay.
Ziggy, light 2, color black.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, I do.
No one can see you. You look like you're stuck in one of the Chaos Emeralds. You're embarrassing yourself.
Ziggy, light 2, color white.
Okay.
So I do want to highlight Miss Sawyer's comment. She says, I think Liv winning makes more sense for her storyline, but I wouldn't be mad if Nia won. Tiffany needs to stay out of it. So I think this is interesting because matter of fact, I'm going to read this and I'll give my thoughts there. Liv already beat Nia before, which is true. And we also got the same crap I said during her Queen run is happening with her title reign. Tiffany's rise is overshadowing her. I hate that for Nia. Yeah, I do too, because Nia, I mean, I think we all said this when she came back. I mean, just she's been killing the role. And I think she's still killing it, but it's just like I expected more. You know what I mean? Like I thought I would get a little bit more. And I don't think we got that. She also said people care more about when Tiffany will cash in on Nia than they do about Nia's reign. I think that's a fair point.
Because Nia really hasn't done much. She's been imbued in this somewhat storyline with Tiffany Stratton where it's like, yeah, we get it. Tiffany's going to cash in, but when? Like, we know it's going to happen. It's probably going to happen on Nia Jax, but when? And that's overshadowing Nia's reign, even though Nia, when she came back, she not only got better on the mic, she got better in her in-ring skills. She's not injuring people. She's actually been pretty fun to watch, but I agree with Cap. Her entire reign has been overshadowed by Tiffany Stratton.
Okay. Now Miss Sawyer's making up words because she's stuck in the Tiffy-verse. Okay, the Tiffy-verse. There we go. Sadly, she's not being allowed to do anything else. Well, I'm laughing at this Tiffy-verse because it reminds me of the Spider-Verse. You know how like there's all these Spider-Men, all you see is all these Tiffany's, and now you're just trying to find a way to get back to her universe, and they're like, no.
Unfortunately, Tiffany 2099 is not allowing this.
Oh yeah, no, Tiffany 2099 is a problem. But yeah, I think Liv is going over. I don't think Nia goes back to back. So she won Queen of the Ring at it wasn't Crown Jewels, King and Queen of the Ring, but they were at Saudi, and she won it. I just don't see it being a back to back for Nia, but we'll see because we'll be. I'm pretty sure if one of our gals win this, we'll be texting. Because trust me, I'll be texting you, Mr. Dubois, and to let you know how I feel. You like that name a lot, don't you, Mr. Dubois?
I'm about to change my name now to Mr. Dubois.
That should be your brand, the Mr. Dubois brand. That should be the Mr. Dubois brand.
I'm about to change my damn gamer tag from Desert Storm to Mr. Dubois.
Mr. Dubois, that would be great, Mr. Dubois. We have one Randall Keith Orton going against Owens fight, and I'm laughing because Randy's been getting big, and I laugh how everyone says, "Is it just me or Randy's getting bigger?" Someone said he looked like he could play the Hulk now, and it's funny because. It's so funny. I was looking at some old school pictures of Randy. I'm gonna have sexual man. I can say Randy Orton's a really handsome dude. And I look back and like he was slimmer, he had the hair and all that stuff. And now he's just I feel like what is he now?
He's jacked.
What is he now? Like 290, 295?
He's Brock Lesnar's weight at this point. Like Brock Lesnar Randy Orton rematch. I'm pretty sure would go in a whole different light. Like Randy ain't going to Suplex City. Bump that.
No.
He ain't going.
Yes, he is. No,
he ain't going. And if he does go, guess what? They're gonna detour on the way there to Viperville. Period. Ain't gonna be no BS like last time. Oh, you want to split my head open? No. You're gonna get a couple of RKOs for your troubles. Hold that.
Who do you got for this one, Mr. Dubois?
Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it makes sense. I agree. Kevin Owens. I think you got to do that. You know what else, too? Did you realize the stat that Randy Orton has not won a PLE match since returning? I think, Survivor Series, he was on the winning team, and after that, none but losing.
Wow, no, he hasn't won a PLE match.
You got look at Royal Rumble, fatal. That was a fatal 4. He didn't get pinned, didn't win. Was he at Elimination Chamber? I don't recall. WrestleMania, he didn't win. I'm trying to think of all these other. There was that tag match at Backlash, right? Him and Owens against the Bloodline. Lost. I mean, he doesn't.
Lost.
Yeah, he doesn't. Randy doesn't win too much.
He's been seeing more L's than Solo Sikoa. Damn.
How long did you have that one in your back pocket? I feel like you have that. Do you have back pockets on that on those pants, on those shorts?
Yes, I do.
Right. Okay, there you go. Miss Sawyer agrees with us. She says Kevin needs to win. I do agree. And you know what else he needs to win for? He turned heel. Let's put some more steam into this heel run and make him look like a threat. I don't know what it's going to lead to because he's
That's going to look a Saturday night main event, him versus Cody.
Okay. So you're saying cook him up for Cody to beat him?
Pretty much.
Cody's going to beat him. You know, you should come out to New York. You should come to New York for that time. I would go to a Saturday night main event with you. Yeah? Come on.
What is Saturday night main event?
It's on a Saturday.
What date?
Well, you should be clear. Don't get mad at me, bro. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you right now. It is December. So they're gonna be in Madison Square Gardens too, December 26th, and Saturday main event is December 28th.
I might have to make a trip to New York on December.
It's the Nassau, not Nassau Coliseum. I'm sorry. It's in Nassau. It's not because I don't think they call it Coliseum anymore. But yeah, we'll talk about it. But yeah, if you could, I mean, it would be great to see your lovely face. Miss Sawyer says Randy could take one more loss. He's not at that John Cena losing streak level yet. Yeah, it hasn't been 1,000-something days. And also, too, Randy's a made man. Is anyone sitting there saying, hey, that Randy Orton's washed, he can't be a first ballot Hall of Famer? Like, is anyone saying that?
That word gets tossed around so crazy. He's washed. Like, what makes him washed? Oh, he's not winning anymore. You sound like you're an AEW fan. Just go away. No one cares. Get lost.
You know, I did want to have you for an AEW prediction show one day. Would you be down for that?
That's going to be one hell of a show. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's going to be one. Yes, I do want to be involved. That's going to be one hell of a show. Oh my God.
It will be a hell of a show because if I could get you and Sawyer on there, because there's been so many times where AEW's.
Oh, Sawyer and I are going to have a field day with that one.
Let's get into the next match here. We have Seth freaking Rollins going against Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed took this man out 2 months ago. Seth Rollins want to get his revenge. This past Monday, they had a backstage brawl where we saw Seth Rollins take off his jacket to reveal another jacket. I thought that was actually hilarious. It was so Cartoon Network.
It damn sure was.
But this match here, I have okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at something. I have Bronson Reed going over, and Bronson Reed should go over. I feel like this is an out right here too for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins being the heroic babyface. I'm hurt, but I'm still gonna fight. And then Bronson Reed take advantage of that. And I think you want to do that too. I think you want to I feel like you want to heat up Bronson Reed. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts about the match. And I don't know if I ever asked you this, so forgive me if this is a repeat question, but are you a fan of one Bronson Reed?
Yeah. His feud with Braun Strowman actually made me a big fan of his. And as far as him versus Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed takes it with interference from CM Punk.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Where did that even come from?
I feel like CM Punk is going to play a part in that.
Really?
CM Punk has this very bad habit of showing up when it comes to people he's feuding with to just say, screw you, take this. This man screwed Drew in 3 different countries and 3 different pay-per-views.
You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, so apologies, Mr. Dubois. I think that was different because Drew, he wanted to make it clear. He was like, I'm gonna ruin your life. Now, him and Seth are not in a feud yet. They're it's like, how do I say this? It's not even like they're teasing it because it's clear this is what they're gonna go to for WrestleMania. But I mean that's a Hail Mary there. How are you going to feel, Mr. Dubois, if Punk don't show up? How big is the room gonna feel?
Put it this way: when I try to take a puff of this, it's gonna take a puff of me instead.
This is great. This is hilarious. So we're all in agreement that one Bronson Reed will take the dub here. Okay, cool. All right, now I remember earlier in the show you said something about this match. I forgot because that was 35 minutes ago. But what do we have? Cody Rhodes, Gunther, and they're going for the Crown Jewel Championship.
You're not gonna like this prediction because this is definitely it's a big chance this is gonna happen. But Gunther's gonna lose due to outside interference from Oldberg.
I'm sorry, who's gonna be there?
Oldberg.
Let me tell you something about one Bill Goldberg Shatner, all right? If he shows up even a little bit on my TV, I'm gonna have a problem. I'm gonna have an issue. You can get
Boom.
how dare you get louder as I'm sitting here ranting about Bill Shatner Goldberg. I have no interest in him being there. He better not show up. They're talking about this guy going to have a match with him at Survivor Series. You know what? Let's do that. Survivor Series. But when they have that match at Survivor Series, Gunther's going to wreck him. He's going to chop him to dust. He's going to take him out. So no, not at all. You can keep going like that. I hear you. I can keep turning blue right about now. I see you getting winded. Keep making that noise. And I'm not done talking about Bill Goldberg. Bill Goldberg have no business being there. Bill Goldberg is not going to be there. And you know why Bill Goldberg's not going to be there? He's getting inducted into Atlantic Hall of Fame.
Boom.
I don't know if you heard.
You say Goldberg's Hall of Fame?
He's getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, so I don't see that happening.
I didn't vote for him. Who voted for him?
And you're the one who said he's going to be there, but that's your prediction. Bill Goldberg's going to show up and help Cody win. I don't see that at all, actually. I'm going to counter that. I don't see Bill Goldberg showing up. I think they are going to have some kind of match at some point, but I do personally see Kevin Owens interfering because Kevin Owens is going to be on the show, not Goldberg, and Kevin Owens is going to fuck with Cody.
Remember, Saudi Arabia loves these old guys. Like they once asked for Yokozuna, not knowing he was past tense.
They said they asked for Yoko and the Ultimate Warrior. I know that. I'm aware of that. They ate up the when they saw Bill Goldberg against the Undertaker. They said, "Oh, this is 5 stars." I know.
Not 5. Holy shit. 1.5 maybe, but not 5. Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
that was a train wreck.
Train wreck. That train was already wrecked.
That shit got derailed.
It left the station and just fell off the tracks. But yeah, I got Gunther going. Yeah, I got Gunther going over. So you got Cody. I got Gunther.
I got Cody due to outside interference.
All right. I personally don't see it, but you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll sit here and acknowledge and say I was wrong. Let's get into this main event here. I'm pretty sure this is definitely going to be the main event. It's funny that as I put this on, Jey Uso is coming through the crowd. SmackDown is on. They were in Brooklyn last week, and you have Roman and Jimmy with Jay coming out there, and the crowd is doing the whole yeet. Roman looks so uninterested. I know, Miss Sawyer was uninterested with the yeet too. Like I think this stemmed from me.
I'm gonna need you to stop hating on the Yeet man. This man has rose above all the hatred that you all showed him. The Yeet man has done his thing.
Yeah, so anyway, we have Roman Reigns and the Usos going against Solo Sikoa and his bloodline, which I believe is going to be the Tongan twins. I mean, Tongan boys. I don't think it's going to be Jacob.
It's
But
gonna be Jacob because his rumor has it that Solo is apparently hurt, or they're purposely keeping him away to save him.
he's hurt.
It's a possibility because he hasn't wrestled since October 19th, and he's been staying. He's done small, little to no physicality. He may be hurt, or it might just be a precaution to save him for a Survivor Series because he might have something nagging that's bothering him at the time being. So it's possibility it could be just Jacob Fatu and the Samoans.
I have to wait and see. I'm not sure, but either way, I have Solo's bloodline winning, and they should.
No, they're not winning. Team Bloodline's not winning.
Solo's bloodline has to win. If Roman's team wins, it's just look. Hear me out here. I see what side you're on. Cool. This bloodline needs something. We talked about a train wreck and on life support and all that stuff, right? And that's pretty much what this bloodline. This bloodline, it's almost like they come up like those villains in the cartoons. They come up with the game plan, like, yeah, we're gonna take over the world, and then they get foiled immediately. Like they come off like Kingpin's henchmen. Kingpin says, "Go, do my dirty work," and then Daredevil is right in front of Kingpin after taking out these dweebs. So they got to get something, and something I would do personally, if Solo is in the match, I would have Solo pin Roman Reigns. I would
As much as we would love to see that, as people think the Team Bloodline is going to get that, we're not. Like Solo is just known for losing. Like I haven't seen him capture a win since John Cena.
No, that's not true. He beat the last big win that he had was against Cody Rhodes. I think it was Money in the Bank, that 6-person tag. But I do get what you're saying. You're saying he doesn't win. He loses more than he wins. I concur.
He kicked Jimmy out for losing, and I'm just like, you should be right there next to him for losing. Like you've lost every goddamn match up until that point. And in all honesty, the only good thing Timu Bloodline has is Jacob Fatu. And I feel like they're slowing him down at this point. Sorry, not sorry. Roman Reigns' bloodline wins. And if they do win, it'll probably be because of Sammy. Or if they lose, it might be because of Sammy. Who knows? We'll see how this all plays out.
I think the opposite. I do think that in this thing, I don't think Sammy's going to be there. But I do think that because there's 4 guys instead of the number, they got that one extra guy. It's just going to make it challenging for the Roman bloodline, and that's when they recruit Sammy. And also, too, they're going to have a match at Survivor Series. Yeah, I mean, what was it? 8-on-8 War Games, Civil War Bloodline. So I would go with the Hills winning, so that when we get the OG bloodline back together, they get that big heroic win at Survivor Series. That's how I would book it, because I just think you would kill them in the water if you have the baby faces go over like that. Like then what's the point at that point? Like what are we doing here? But that is our prediction from me and Mr. Dubois. This show, I mean, I'm surprised it went 40 minutes. I thought we were going to be like maybe 30 and under, but here it is, 43 minutes. But that is the show. There will not be a after show review. I'll be out. So me and Miss Sawyer, we're going to give our thoughts of the show on the audio podcast, which we record on a Sunday, and we put it for your lovely ears to listen on Monday afternoon. I look forward to working with one Miss Sawyer. There's a few things I think we got on the docket that we're going to talk about. Probably some NXT, because NXT was a fun show. I was just telling you off air, I hate that I can't go to the Philly show, because that show looked like, that card just looks so fun. And also, too, it would be a great, if I went there, I could make sure that JC gets a win, because I just think she's been bullied. Not a fan of any of that. But with all of that said, Mr. Dubois, you occasionally pop here in the Big Pop Theory podcast. You're a part of the crew. Where can people find you if you want to be found? Or if you want to be found.
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Oh, you heard none of it.
I heard a couple of things.
There we go. I was saying this is the end of the show. Where can people find you if you want to be found?
You're going to find me on Twitch this weekend streaming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Legend of the Saiyans. Drop your PSN names in here because I'm delivering hands. Hands all weekend. Hands for breakfast, hands for lunch, hands as an afternoon snack, hands for dinner. You'll also find me here on the Big Pop Theory podcast, where I'm always with my co-host Ron, the incredible Cap, Shay Sawyer. Shout out to Shay who couldn't be here. Shout out to my man
Rich King.
Rich Kings. Is just I was trying not to Amy Dumas's name completely.
You do my name. No, you're Ron. Yeah, there's no Ron, but everyone knows me as Ron. It's either Ron, Jack, or the bad guy. Not too many people say the great grandson. That's a long name. I don't blame people for saying that, but it's a hell of a name.
Just say Poobah for short. You know.
Poobah. There we go. I like that. Yeah, Poobah. But yeah, we do audio podcasts. We're trying to get some YouTube content. I'm trying to gather up the gang and figure out schedules because there's just some stuff that we want to review. We just got to figure out schedules and stuff like that. But we do predictions.
WCW's one night stand.
We could put that on the docket. Why don't we save? We could totally do that. Which one? 05?
Yeah, the very first one, where Paul Heyman went off on JBL. That was actually pretty funny. I actually enjoyed that show.
You know what? I like that idea. So let's put that on the docket for June 2025, and that's cool because it'll be 20 years.
Really? Wow. I'm old.
Yes, you are. I was talking to one Miss Sawyer. I was like, it would be cool if we reviewed NXT Brooklyn. I think
another good one.
The NXT, I think it turns 10 next year as well. So I mean, we'll if people got some.
I want to review the Takeover before it was a pay-per-view where Takeover had dominated that weekend, and I believe I'll never forget because it was an NXT Takeover, and I forgot what pay-per-view was on that weekend. But I remember the opening match was Dolph Ziggler and Luke Harper, and they tried to steal the show because NXT Takeover was that damn good. I definitely would love to review that. I don't mind going back and reviewing Invasion. Invasion was actually pretty hilarious to review that. I actually love that one.
What's actually hilarious? I'm sorry, the visual of the original Bloodline getting together and they're putting the ones up is just iconic. I'm actually mad that this is the part where I cut out because I just wanted tacos. But me and Rich Kings were actually talking about that. It's probably something we should say for the after show. But I'll just say real quick, we actually talked about wanting to review Invasion because Invasion should have been a lot better. But we're going to talk about it. We'll talk about it for the after show. But yes, the Big Pop Theory podcast, follow these social media things below us. And that's the show. Thank you guys for listening to our predictions. And we'll be back, I think, for a Survivor Series. So hit that like button and
subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us know you watched, man. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if anything, put your comments below on the next show y'all like us to review because we definitely want to review some shows. So if there's definitely a pay-per-view you want us to review from the classic days, drop it down in the comments below. Let us know.
Bye.
Peace.